Welcome to the Pearson Test of English, also known as PTE. This is the reading section. The question that we shall be discussing here, or the item type, is multiple choice, multiple answers. First, let us understand the test format. You will be given 2 to 3 tasks, out of which you will be given 5 to 7 options. You are supposed to read your question and select the correct options given. The skill assessed here is reading. Make sure you choose the suitable options. As far as the scoring goes, you are given partial credit. You will be given 1 mark for correct response, -1 or negative marking for incorrect response, and 0 as your minimum score. The text length is usually up to 300 words. The tasks are not timed individually. Now here is a sample of what the item type looks like. This is your text. You have to read it. You have to figure out which out of these options is the correct one. So your instruction is given at the beginning. It says read the text and answer the question by selecting all the correct responses. You will need to select more than one correct response. Following this, you will be given a question. Your question is the main key to solving this because it gives you the context within which all of these options have to be selected, or some of these options have to be selected. So this is how it looks. Now let us analyze how this task is done. First, read the passage and pay close attention to what is being said. Do you understand what the passage is about? After you finish your first reading, move to read the question and understand what is being asked. This question gives you the context. So try to identify whether the speaker is explaining, describing, or criticizing. Then read each option carefully, keeping the question in mind. Once you keep the question in mind, return to the passage and read it again. Try to figure out what the answers to the questions are. Try to match words and phrases. Return to the options and identify which of the options corresponds with your answer. The correct options are usually closest in meaning or directly mentioned. It is good to note here that some of the words and phrases are often paraphrased, synonyms are often used. So try to see if the meaning is the same. You must remember to select more than one correct option. Here are some strategies to answer this question effectively, or this item type effectively. So firstly, you must skim and scan the question. Read the questions first and then read the passage. Now, when you're reading the passage, try to identify what kind of passage it is. For instance, you might get different types of questions. So try to identify the main idea and try to guess the closest answer. When looking at the options, you can check what type of question is given before it, like what the question states. For instance, if the question is according to the passage, what is the reason? Now here the question is asking you to find a particular information. So look for specific words, numbers, events, etc. If you get a question that says the author's main idea here suggests that. So the main idea means the gist of the text. So look for that particular word that will give you the overall meaning. If your question states, according to the writer, this is asking for the writer's opinion on a specific detail. So make sure to look at the text and understand the information that gives the writer's point of view. Sometimes the answer can also lie in the conclusion. Now, if you get a question that says, why does the word why itself means it is asking for some reason. So look for a reason to an occurrence. So pay close attention to any particular event or incident mentioned. Use the prompt time given to find the answer. You must answer all the questions. It is suggested not to spend more than 1.5 minutes on a particular question. As far as comprehension goes, Try to infer the meaning and information given and try to classify your information or divide it. Carefully analyze the options given. If you find any noticeable words, phrases, or synonyms, because sometimes the options are rephrased or paraphrased and you might not be able to understand if you try to match it directly with the text given. So try to understand the context, follow the coherence given. As far as doing this particular task is concerned, click on the options and compare the information with the text finally. Use the elimination strategy. You must always eliminate options that are far from being the correct answer. Once you read them, you will get to know. For instance, the options that are talking about some different subject or object altogether. Also, sometimes the timelines can help you find out the incorrect ones. If you want to deselect, then deselect and click again on the same option. Click on the correct option and click next once you're done. Now this is practice question 1. Carefully read the text based on the strategies discussed earlier and select your correct options. Once you're done, you can compare it with the answer list provided. Now this is practice question 2. Once again, as you can see, it's quite a big text. So you will have to really analyze what is being given. Match your options properly and correctly with the text given and select the suitable option. This is practice question 3. Follow the strategies and select your answer accordingly. This is the 4th question. Follow the strategies and select your answer accordingly. Please refer to the answer list provided to check your answers. That is the end of this session. Good luck with your practice.